Hey, I'm here playing more Mini Jam 69 game entries, and with the limitation of cards have to be a mechanic, and I am here with Wrath of Zeus. The dev says this is their second game jam, so I'm excited to see. We'll check out. There's high scores in the comments. Well, let me see what the high score is, and then I'll jump into it. Wants to beat it. So 94 enemies smitten. I haven't seen the game, so this is a first impression sort of video. Me just going in pretty much blind. Ooh, it looks nice though. 10,009. So I guess I'll just go for 11K. That'll be the goal. Credits. Programming art and game developed by Ashton Winters, A Winters, or at A Winters I think for Twitter. Music, MD Wade. Ooh. Gotcha. Let's get it. Controls. You know what? I sometimes just straight up skip the tutorials, but I'll read it. Oh, this also has lore, or the lore. People are revolted. You play as Zeus, and you need to send everyone who is against you to the underworld. Let Hades deal with them. You aren't alone. Every now and then, Hermes will visit to play a game of chance with you. Pick the same suit of card as him, and you'll regain health. Full health, all the enemies will perish. But pick wrong, and more will come. Ooh, okay. So move, ASDW, left click to throw lightning, and select card, hover over in selection. I really like that. The idea is you're sending people to hell rather than being in hell, because so far. Pretty much every jam entry is the setting is hell, which is that makes sense. The theme isn't even required in this jam. The theme is pseudo optional, and the limit is what you're locked to. So it's nice that this is kind of taking a different approach to it. Already really like that because makes it unique. Standing out in a game jam can be difficult. Wrath of Zeus. I also like that you're playing Zeus because Zeus is historically kind of a dick. Okay. Oh, I fly. Oh wow, this is kind of bullet helly. Okay, let's see. If I go quiet, it's because I'm focusing. Wait, how do I? I'm not sure how I. Wait, did I just miss it in the instructions? How do I select the cards? Sure. I mean, it works. Luckily, I'm not horrible at, bullet hell, so... So maybe I just won't even need the game of chance. And more enemies means more things to kill, which means... Wait, do I get points for killing? They're, blocking all my shots. Whoa. Oh, I got hit. Oh, no. And so begins the downfall. I'm not even close. Wow, this music is really good. It's, really intense. Oh, well. You know, immediately I say, I'm not bad at bullet hells, and I immediately get annihilated. So, 24 cent to Hades. Oh, okay, so since the score isn't tied to kills at all, it seems, it's like a timer. So I need to survive for 11... I need to survive for 11k points, but then I need 95 kills if I want to beat that high score. Let's... How do I select the cards? Fly over the selection. Gotcha. It's kind of interesting, because it is, kind of... I don't know if it's, they don't throw that often, so it's not really bullet helly, but it's So I think I want to kind of be, almost on ground level to, fire across. Oh, wait, no. Okay, I get how to select now. Okay. So that's kind of just, completely RNG, right? Okay, wait. I need to focus. Oh, man. Oh, that's kind of hard. Because If I don't make a selection, does it pick a random card for me? Because in that case, I don't really need to pick if it's completely random. I wonder if there's a system in place that makes him not able to repeat cards. That way I can just make sure not to... Let's see. I'm not giving, like, much feedback because I'm, like, just really focused on playing. It's really fun. There's, like... Okay, so he did, like, the weird cross. The sounds are just really good. They're, like, really visceral. So he didn't repeat there. See, I have better accuracy if I'm near the bottom because I can fire straight across, but it's so much harder to dodge. Da, 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 da. Why do these people hate me? Why are they firing at Zeus? Why does Zeus only have 3 life? Zeus is a weak boy. Oh, shout out to the music a lot. It's really good. I really like the art. It's like really simple, but like really clear. I think something that might have helped is to make the spears a lot like darker, or maybe like have a thicker, like a thick border, because they can be a little harder to see. Oh crap. That's fine. It's fine. Wow, I'm getting nowhere. This might take me a while. I like the title screen, by the way. It's like really simple, but also like properly like styled. Like you have a pixelated font, you have pixelated title, and you know, since it's a pixel art game, that fits really well. Oh, I just noticed this is animated. I did just notice it. It adds movement to the main menu. I think something that, and I do this quite a lot often, is I'll just have like a very static, nothing's moving on the main menu, and that can be pretty visually boring. So this is really good. The cards feel completely random though, which is honestly it's thematic when you're dealing with like Greek gods, because they're pretty fickle. They're random. Like you never know what a Greek god's gonna do. It's hard. I'm like, because so it's like a bullet hell, but like all the enemies are like on a single lane and you have full control, but it's like top to bottom instead of bottom to top. Like you're on the top and not on the bottom, which is pretty spicy. Okay. So I kind of want to hit the card selection, even if it is completely random, just so it like... Oh my god. Wow, I got annihilated. I got double speared. Okay. I just want to focus. Wow, now I just kind of want to die. There is this, like... I wouldn't call it a problem, but it's the... Yeah, once you take one hit, like if you're going for a hyper-optimal run, right? Once you get hit once, it's kind of like, well, my next random success is going to be... It's going to be a heal instead of a wipe when you really want the wipes, so... What could have been maybe better, just like, to increase the odds, because I think currently I have a 1 in 4 chance, it seems. I don't, it might be a 1 in 3 if I was paying attention to the last card played, and if there's a system in place that picks a different card each time. But what could have worked is having, like, Hermes pick 2 cards, and one of them heals you and one of them wipes. Because now I'm in, like, a pickle because there's so many enemies, but I can't, like, easily wipe them. Just a thought. I'm really enjoying this, though. Also, I've noticed that this is, like, the roof just, like, stops my shots, which is really, makes this a lot harder to aim. Or, like, a lot easier to aim, because I don't have to aim as much. I just kind of know I just basically spray and play. Can I hold the click? No, I can't hold the click. So, it would be nice to be able to hold click, and the main reason behind that is just that there's no reason to not keep shooting, basically. Like, there's a lot of time where I just want to, like, spray and pray because they're, like, all here or they're all here, and I don't really have time to aim because I need to dodge. So it's kind of like I wish I could just hold click and then not, like, have to tap over and over. It's fine. There's a Vlambeer talk I really like about, like, game feel, and one of the things they bring up, which is that, like, if there's... For example, if you're making a shooting game and there's no reason not to shoot, then just give a little bit of a reason. It doesn't have to be any, like, much of a reason. And the example they give is, like, making it so that there's a slight knockback to yourself when you fire. That way, like, maybe if you're standing still on a platform, it moves you to the left, or it reduces your move speed. Just things like that. I'm just throwing my thoughts out, though. I'm actually, this is actually pretty fun. It's actually really fun. Oh. Helps that I really do enjoy, like, oh my god. Just kill me. I really do, like, enjoy bullet hells, though, so... Oh my god, the roof. I just, like, flew straight into that. Okay, wait, let's try that again. I want a good start. Let me just crack my knuckles. This isn't good. You should do... You don't pop your knuckles, kids. Okay. So this is... I keep saying, like, bullet hell, but it's not, like, really a bullet hell, but dodging... The main thing I'm trying to get across by saying that is it's, like... I guess it is pretty bullet hell-y once there's a lot of dudes, but the main point oh my god. The main point I want to get across is that, like, dodging is the main mechanic, which I'm really bad at, apparently. Okay, 55, beat that. Okay. These are, like, death zones. If you go, like, too far to, like, the left or the right, I keep trying to get a good angle so I can shoot into the building. But, like, as soon as they start throwing spears, I get completely bodied. Something that might be nice is more, like, bullet patterns, because I think I might be able to get into, like, a rhythm where I can dodge everything. Although that definitely is helping... What's definitely helping me with that right now is the fact that, like, all the enemies are dead. It's interesting that you can, like, fire the spears out of the air, but it's kind of also, like, makes it so much harder to hit enemies than it probably should be. Oh my god, wait, did I just get hit by 3 spears at once? Oh, dang. But, because going to, like, the whole bullet hell comparison, in bullet hells, your bullets usually go through other bullets, and the reason is because of it becomes really hard to kill anything when there's a lot of them. And plus, there's so many bullets that even if I am firing at bullets, I can't, like, shooting them out of the air does nothing, because I'm also dodging, like, 3 other ones at the same time. Just the... It is really nice that, like, the enemies have a pretty predictable move pattern, because I can kind of, like, try to... snipe them. Oh, ayo. I'm getting lucky. I think I got like 3 out of 4 so far. Which is really lucky if it's a 1 in 4. It's over. I have the high ground. Can you get higher ground than the sky? I have the high sky, because it's not really ground. Come on. What's interesting is that if if you can get into a situation where there's so many enemies that it becomes better not to look at where you're shooting, or even care where you're shooting, because what you want is you want heals. Like I'm just really hoping for good RNG now, so I can. First, I need to heal, but then I need to be able to wipe the board. That'd be really valuable. Oh, now I need two. Well, now I need one. Back where I just was. The spawn rate of the enemies is like really good. Like, it's not so much that I'm not getting like overwhelmed completely constantly, which is really good, but it still ramps up enough to kind of screw you. Oh god. I don't know if the spawn rate is increasing over time or if like the fire rate is, but it definitely feels like it gets harder the longer you go. Like, you start with 4 dudes. Wait, is their fire rate kind of like almost random? Or do they have to like have line of sight of me to fire? I guess I'm sciencing. Will this guy ever fire? Do they not fire without line of sight? That's really nice. It's kind of like... I don't know if that is the case, but if it is, that's like just a really small piece of little... Like, just a little detail that you might not... Like, I didn't even think of that until just now, so it's kind of like... Oh god, I like peek in there and then like a volley of spears. Well, oof. I think a feature that would have helped a bit, definitely iframes. Getting double hit by like 2 spears that are stacked on each other feels a little unfair sometimes, but I you know, something just dodge. Easy. Well... Again, I don't think this needs too much repeating, but I really like the music. Man. Ooh. Hermes, please. I haven't been able to pay attention to like the cards at all because I'm so focused on dodging, so I have no idea if it is just like pure random or not. I assume it is. I haven't been given any other reason, like any reason to believe it's... Oh my god. I think if the spears didn't block your shots, the game would probably be like almost too easy. Just cause then you would just kill every enemy immediately. And they would never like get to a point where they could overwhelm you. Like, it feels like it would get to the point that you could just go infinitely. Which... I think the thing about infinite gameplay models with like score-based is you don't want them to go on forever. Because that gets boring if you're so good that you just never feel threatened. And you only really feel threatened when there is a chance you could die, basically. Like, and if there's a chance you could die, that means eventually enough of those chances will happen that you die. But if you never feel threatened in an infinite gameplay model, like I feel threatened constantly here, so that's good. But something I've talked about in other like infinite gameplay models is just like inevitability. And the spears blocking your shots almost create inevitability because you get overwhelmed. If your shots pierced spears, dang. Your high score is seeming more and more impressive with every attempt I make. But inevitability is important, and I feel like you get overwhelmed with like because of the spears, and that's good. It's hard to create inevitability with something like this simple, without like slowly increasing a number that makes things slightly faster. So if technically you have like, if you make a bot to play the game eventually, they'll probably go on forever. But other than that, like, it's really hard to go on forever, which is good. But it's weird. Arcade machines that were kind of like the original high score based infinite model. Like, I'm pretty sure this was like a programming thing. Like, I don't know how deaths, like the kill screens in like Donkey Kong work. I don't know if they're like almost like a programming error or intentional, but it's like that's kind of like the hardest form of hardest as in like most obvious, blatant, and probably one of the less good ways of inevitability. I think a great example of a classic game that does like inevitability is Tetris. Like that game, if you watch like top level Tetris for Jonas gameplay, and by that I just mean like top level Tetris, competitive Tetris, they will almost always go until like a certain speed, and then it's just so fast that they just can't. And basically the idea of competitive Tetris is who could get the most points, and by that it's like the most Tetrises before that point. And that's because of inevitability. If there was no inevitability, competitive Tetris would not work at all. And that's not even really related to this game. Like, it's an infinite model, but like, inevitability isn't really an issue just because it's... You could get overwhelmed if you don't kill enemies fast enough, and it's really hard to kill the enemies because of the spears. And honestly, that's a... I'm just kind of like rambling as I try to focus, but that's like, it's mostly a compliment. And by mostly, I mean it is a compliment. I'm just used too much double speak. Oh my god. After this run, I'm going to do a run with no speak. Zero speak. Just focus mode. That's not this run though, Jesus. I get boss battle vibes from this music. Have you ever listened to the band Boss Fight? They make really good music. Maze of Mayo is my favorite. I think. I don't know, I haven't listened to their stuff in a while. Maybe I like something else now. Okay. The no talk run. Just focus. They keep catching me on, like, the rise up, so I kind of gotta... I should stop doing that. I shouldn't immediately fire and then go back. Wait, was that two guys? Did they fire two spears at me? Wow, I did worse. Maybe talking is my superpower. Okay. Man, the gameplay is like really addicting. That's what like it's a super simple and small game. It's a game jam, so obviously like the games are shorter and simpler, but doesn't make them any less sweeter. This is really good for a second jam entry. You got like the whole loop, like everything. You have the death state, you have like the scores, you have like I don't know, graphics for everything. Good tutorial. You got lore. I love context. It's like something about game jams, to me personally, this is a belief I hold, which is context is so powerful. If the player knows why they're doing something, it instantly just becomes... And I don't have like research to back this up, but because nobody does that much research on like the art of game jamming, but context is just so valuable in a game jam. Like the little seed of reason and plot goes a long way. I'm like a bit exaggerating. Like it's not the most important thing or anything, but it's just something that like not enough jam games do, and the ones that do always just something about them feels better to play. Like it just becomes so much harder to. It's so much easier to fall in, and I've noticed with my game jam games too. Like when I have a stronger context, it feels like it does better. I don't like it's completely conjecture. There's no measurements, but I like this. Even simple things like this. Just this is the plot. That's it. Is good enough for a game jam because that's really all you need for a game jam. But yeah, really good. Gameplay addicting. I didn't beat the high score yet. If I come back to this, if I beat the high score, I'll post it in the comments. I won't post my high score in the comments right now, but mainly because I don't remember it and it wasn't that good. But I'll do one more first. This will be the one. You know what? This will be the one where I beat the high score. There's a lot of little things that could be added for polish. Like, yeah, that's always the case in almost any game jam, any environment. Even AAA games, there's just little things for polish. Something here would have probably been... I think the color palette, like, in general... Sorry, I'm, like, half focusing still because I haven't played. I think the backgrounds could have been a little darker to make things a little more visibly clear. Not, like, super much darker, but... Especially because you want a bright blue sky. Or make the characters, like, brighter. Oh my god, that was lucky. But basically, just so that things, like, are more clear. Another thing is obviously particles. Particles are almost a meme, and just they add polish instantly. Screen shake might have been too much when you're trying to dodge things constantly. So, screen shake might not work in this specific one. A tiny bit, maybe, when you get, like, the board clear. A visual effect for the board clear would be nice. And again, these are all just little things that come to mind that... In a game jam, you almost never have time to do all of this. Like, unless you have, like, a team of 4. Then, in the case of, like, teams of 4 having, you can have somebody specifically polishing things. And by 4, I mean just any large number of teammates. But yeah, if you're watching this video and, like, you haven't played this game, I recommend giving it a try, because the music's really good. I almost wish the music was playing in the main menu, but that would be, like, kind of weird, just because the main menu is, like, chill, and that music is just da-da-da-da-da-da-da, like, really intense. Man, I want to keep playing, because it is really addicting, and I do want to beat that high score. This is something that's kind of clever. Like, I don't know if this was the intent, but he posted his high score in the comments, and because of that, you just creates this feeling of, I want to beat that. Honestly, something I would say is, like, what you could have done, a little bit of extra polish. This is kind of like a really good way to get around it for a game jam, because you're allowed to comment afterwards. But if you implement a high score system in your game, set a pretty decent default high score. Don't let the player set the high score, because they never know what they, like, should be. They'll just... Like, not every player is, like, PB-oriented, which is why not everybody's a speedrunner. But if you set, like, basically a goal... Because in game jams, you kind of need to have that, when am I going to stop playing this game? Because you can probably see all my tabs. There's a lot of game jam games. And you don't need that. If you can make a game addicting enough that somebody spends, like, 2 hours on your game, that's great. But yeah, you want to, but having, like, a good stopping point feels good, just because, like, knowing you played something to, like, the fullest extent is what you want. So, a lot of, like, arcadey and fitted gameplay models can feel like, well, I don't know why I would want to play this game, I just play it forever and then that's it. But, like, having a high score, like, posting this in the comments was really smart. I don't know if it was intentionally that, but I didn't beat this. It doesn't need to be beatable, to be honest, just because, like, I could sit here for a while trying to beat it. But, yeah, that was really good. Really, really solid, especially for a second game jam. Really solid. A lot of polish for a second game jam, like, and by a lot of polish, I mean there's sounds. Things feel pretty good. Like, the sounds are timed correctly, like, when you hit something, it's almost instant. The controls are really responsive. Something I will say, because this is one of those things that's really hard to balance, is you have a really good move speed here. Like, I feel like I have a lot of control. The bullet hell in me wish it was, like, a little faster and I had a slow down button. Or just if I wish I had, like, a sprint button. Either one. But that's just because more options is better. Something really nice about this entry, too, which you can't say for every jam game because it's a game jam. It feels virtually bugless. Like, the gameplay is simple, so it's almost like where could a bug be, but game jams have a magic way of creating bugs that shouldn't exist. I made a menu in a game jam game, and if you clicked exit too fast, it would soft lock the game. And though that was like the only, and that was like the only thing that could bug out, and it bugged out. And this game seemed pretty virtually bugless, so really good on that. Just really solid entry. Didn't super point it out, but there's like a reload icon. That's pretty smart, just because being able to have like an exact measurement. It's not necessarily necessary to have, but it's one of those little nice things, and the more little nice things you can fit in a game jam, the better. Was there a particle effect for? Yeah, there's like a little. Like if I stand like right here. Let's not go for kill. Oh, well that didn't work. Is this like the optimal strategy? Because they don't fire at me unless they see me, right? Wait, did I just find the strat? There's always gonna be a super strat. Oh. I don't think this stops them from respawning. Oh god. My strat. Oh, my strat. Well, the 405. That strat might work if you position it like pixel perfectly. But yeah. Really good entry. Just solid all around. Cheers.